Well, I have so been looking forward to speaking with my next guest. She is a best-selling author of 28 books. She writes and lectures on personal happiness, has inspired millions of folks around the world to break the rules and live more fulfilling, more beautiful lives. She's been interviewed by Barbara Walters, Jane Pauley, Katie Couric. She's appeared on Oprah, Good Morning America, Today Show. The list goes on and on and on. She's hosted a show on HGTV, which was called Homes Across America, wrote a monthly column for McCall's magazine, and she had been somewhat of a regular guest of mine. She hails from Connecticut when I was doing my Connecticut show. It is so nice to say hello again to lifestyle guru, Alexandra Stoddard. Good morning, Alexandra.
I don't know who you're talking about, Mary. Good morning, indeed.
It is nice to hear your voice again. Alexandra's name flashed through my mind last month, and I picked up the phone and called her. We've had a couple of nice conversations, and it's so nice to be sharing with you, with our listeners. So thank you, Alexandra, for your time today.
Well, thank you for thinking about me and picking up the phone,
yes.
Mary. This is sort of what I want to talk about today.
Yes, I know.
Reconnecting.
About reconnecting. You used a phrase when we were talking about a loneliness epidemic. Do I have that right? That you think there's a loneliness epidemic going on?
Well, there is. There is. The Surgeon General of the United States said that there's definitely an epidemic. Half of America, of all ages, say that they're lonely. They're not satisfied with their relationships with other people. They feel isolated and alone,
yes,
and therefore sad.
Yes.
And as you know, all my work and my research is on happiness, human well-being, and thriving, trying to flourish in our daily lives.
That's right. Well, and so in your opinion, Alexandra, what role, let's talk about technology. You know, there's texting, there's email. It's connection, but it's not personal connection, is it? Is that one of the culprits?
It's virtual connection, and I like to talk to you and hear your voice. What would be really ideal would be to see you so that I could see your facial expressions, I could feel your energy. We're energy machines, Mary. Mm-hmm. I can't really talk too much about the technology not making human connections, other than using all the research that tells us that it's not the same. It's almost like living. It's artificial reality. Mm-hmm. And even though you think that you're connecting because you can see somebody's video, you can see their face, and you're not there. You're not really present.
Well, and the reason that you can't speak to it, as you just said, is because you don't use technology. I understand.
My husband Peter Brown and I, in the early 1970s, we looked at each other and decided, we had pens in our hand with ink fountain pens, and we were writing on foolscap, and we realized that we like the process. Someone else can do something technical if we don't want to do it. And most people have to do it for their work. But so early on, we had other people do what we weren't good at and what we weren't interested in so that we could do what we like to do. So I've never, ever embraced, what do you call it? I guess you call it the Internet.
Right, we could.
Digital. I know that I'm the only listener. All your listeners have it, and their children and their grandchildren. But I would like to just say that I'm living a full, rich, satisfying, content, happy life, full of love and joy and light. So I don't really know if I'm fortunate or unfortunate, because of course there are advantages to everything. But I think that, Mary, so many people are addicted to it. When I'm with my friends, they always have to show me something that I'm really not interested in looking at. I'd rather have them tell me a story. I can visualize. I have great powers of visualization and imagination. And if they talk to me and look at me and give me eye contact, I'm much happier than looking at their.
Oh,
we used to have Mary. We used to have little books with pictures of our grandchildren, our little brag books.
Yes.
Well, now people just get out their phone, or they already have it out.
That's right. Well, and it's we've lost a lot when you were talking about you and your husband writing letters. Boy, that seems to be a lost art, doesn't it? Who writes letters any longer? Very few of us. Very few.
I wrote a letter on Valentine's Day. My granddaughter had her first date with a boy that now she's dating steadily. I guess you say going steady. She's 15, and we were having dinner with her, and this young man asked her to go out, and instead of her ditching us and going out with him, she said, "Oh, my mom and my grandmom would love to have you join us." He brought chocolate to all three of us. He brought flowers, long stem red roses, hot pink roses for her, and so I wrote him a thank you note, and I hand-delivered it to him for dinner last weekend when we had a little family reunion, and he was invited. And he apparently thinks that I'm his angel because it's the first letter he's ever received. Oh, he's 15.
Really?
He's a sophomore in high school. It's the first letter he's ever received. Now, Mary...
That says it all.
I wrote a book, Gift of a Letter. I correspond with people all over the world and have for years. And I ended the book, P.S. Write Soon. Yes, I have a lot of correspondence. Yes, do I keep up with it every single day? No. But, Mary, I love the connection, the beautiful things that you can say to somebody to let them know how much they mean to you, how much you hear them, see them, feel them, and care about them.
We're speaking, if you're just joining us, we're speaking with Lifestyle Guru. Is it okay if I call you Lifestyle Guru?
You can call me your friend, Mary.
Okay. And I prefer that. I'm speaking with my good friend, Alexandra Stoddard. Do check out her website, by the way, alexandrastoddard.com. I want to mention that right now in our conversation, Alexandra, because on your website, which I love, there is you can read your newsletter, and you are such an amazing writer, obviously, but I love the topics that you write about, and that's right on alexandrastoddard.com. So let me kind of throw you a devil's advocate kind of thing.
Please.
My guess is people are listening right now, and they're nodding their heads in agreement, because who can disagree with what you're saying, but they're saying to themselves, yeah, I'm too busy. I'm working full time. I'm raising 3 kids. I don't have time to write a letter. I have time to send a text because that takes 10 seconds. Writing a letter takes much longer. I don't have that time. What do you say to that person?
I say to that person, I've been there. I've done that.
You sure have.
I was sleep deprived. I had dark circles under my eyes, but I was trying to do it all. But guess what, Mary? You want to have life satisfaction. You want to have health and happiness and experiences and everything. I cannot believe that your listeners, there must be some of your listeners, that feel, even though they're with people all the time, they feel something's missing in their life. They feel something is not right. They don't really love their job. They don't really... I mean, the happiness research, they don't even love being with their children all the time because it's around the clock.
It's stressful.
It's stressful, yeah. So, Mary, I think what I would love to say is that if you have the address and if you have stamps and you have paper and envelopes and some kind of a pen or pencil, or I don't know what, I have beautiful pens, so it's something I enjoy doing. And if you wish to connect with somebody, it only takes a few minutes. It doesn't have to be long, but you can start by saying, I'm thinking about you, and just reaching out to somebody in loving, kind ways. It's a gift you give yourself. And it's one of the things that reading more also. When people say they're too busy to read. They can just flip on their phone and get some news in 2 minutes. That's not deep thinking and comprehension. You have to understand. You have to have time. So there's a whole way of being, and our life is not. It's not to be rushed by. It's to be enjoyed and savored, and to have time to think and dwell on all the beauty that's right in front of us.
Yes.
And happiness is really knowing that what you already have is all you need and all you want in your life. And all the past experiences that we've had are all part of our present. Mary, a lot of people think that because my husband died 9.5 years ago, that there's no way I can be as happy as I was when I was living with him for 40 years. But that's not true, because he's still with me in my heart and my soul. I still think about him. He would be 102 on Friday. So I really feel that we're blessed when we slow down and smell the roses. And when you say you don't have time, I cannot believe that there are people that are listening that don't have little tiny interstices in their day when they can, out of joy, feel the energy to do something thoughtful and kind and loving for somebody else.
Well, see, Alexandra, and unfortunately, I knew this was going to happen. We're running out of time, but you just touched upon something that we'll have to have another conversation about. You said joy. And I talk a lot on the show. I think a lot in my daily life all the time about attitude and the difference that a positive and a negative attitude can make in your day, in your life. I mean, all the difference in the world. And if we approach writing that letter from a place, as you just said, from joy and an open heart, as opposed to, look, I'm writing this letter because Alexandra Stoddard told me I should.
It's not an obligation to be happy.
Right.
It's your choice.
Right.
It's your privilege. It's a blessing, and it's an achievement.
Yes.
Mary, to be continued.
To be continued. I love this. And again, I don't want to say that your approach takes us to a simpler time, because as I'm hearing myself say those words, I think I'm minimalizing it, and that's not my intent. But in a way, it does, doesn't it? It takes us to a simpler time, focusing on what is important, and what's more important than our happiness, our joy, and our connection with people, and that's what we're lacking. Alexandra, you rock. You continue to. I tell you. Alexandra.
Okay, we're going to have fun very soon again.
I look forward to it. AlexandraStoddard.com. Do check out her website. It is also wonderful, as is she. Thank you, Alexandra. I've more than enjoyed this, and you know I'll stay in touch. Please do the same.
Okay, great.
Take care.
I promise.
Okay.
I get you the letter. You'll get one.
Oh,
Bye,
a
Mary.
letter.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay.